advantageous situations, right? They don't run the triple option, but the schematics that they run, present a lot of problems with run fits and gaps and controlling your gaps and, things of that nature. And the minute you get a little bit too greedy with getting too many people in the box, they're going to RPO you and take advantage of it. And Coach Soroka has done a great job, his entire time and know him well and got great respect for the job he does with their offense. So, you got to be efficient on first and second down, and then you got to make plays on third down. When you go through and you look at, we did obviously a couple of weeks ago, pretty extensive self-scout, and yeah, there's calls maybe you'd like to have differently. There's execution, communication, and then a lot of the plays on Saturday, we won a lot of one-on-ones. I think we had more PBUs, more pass breakups than we've had in a number of games. And, that really was something I thought jumped out to me, from our performance Saturday against the Buckeyes. I mean, I don't think that that had a whole lot to do with the win. I think it had a whole lot to do with the way that our guys executed. And it's a credit to, AJ and Cam and Rod and, Dev and Jay Lou. I thought they made some good plays. I think Xander had a really good breakup too early in the game. So, good job seeing the ball, breaking on it and making plays on it.
Another one for Adam Rittenberg.
Fitz, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago about the trusting players needing to kind of trust themselves out there. It's such a big part of your program, going back to Randy. Where do you think that's at this point, and what can you do to improve that here just down the stretch of this season, but obviously going forward as well?
Yeah, I think, throughout the week, it's been really good. The guys have practiced really hard all year, Adam. We talked a lot about it coming out of the bye, that we've got our disconnect on Saturday. You've got to stay even keel in a moment and talk to yourself the right way. Right. And when you have maybe a momentary play not go the way you want it, you've got to be able to respond. I mean, things that we talk about all the time. And what comes first, confidence or experience, right? It's kind of a chicken and an egg thing. And, I've coached a lot of teams, and, as you're kind of going through some growing pains, you just keep coaching. You stay real positive. Guys want to win. They want to do everything they can to, play as well as they can for themselves, for their teammates, for our program. And, I've seen some market improvement by a lot of guys. We've just got to eliminate the one-man breakdowns that we've had in inopportune times. That's what I was talking about even post-game. It'd be one thing if it was one guy or one position group. It's been a little bit sprinkled all over. And then we've had some guys just trying to make plays, and their eyes have maybe not been where they need to be, or they've just been a little bit over assertive when they just got to settle down and do their job. And, I've seen flashes of that, but our lack of, like I said earlier, our lack of consistency. So trusting yourself usually goes to your preparation, and then getting into the arena and using the knowledge and preparation that you've had during the week, not getting too high, not getting too low, and just being even keeled, playing passionate, hard-nosed, tough football. And it's kind of been our hallmark around here. We've just been a little bit inconsistent over the last couple of seasons with that, and, kind of had our script flipped on us. I think I get where you're going with your questions here. We usually win one-score games. We usually win a turnover battle. We've limited explosives and just been really opportunistic in the kick game and run the ball well and had compliments off of it. And we've just been too inconsistent in that here over the last, handful of games over the last couple of years, and we just got to keep fighting to get that back. And I believe our guys will, and I believe they want to, and I believe their attitude's been great, and that's all I can ask of them.
Last question for Lawrence Price.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to go back to your comment about, getting the roster older, right? Or just kind of having that. What does that process look like to you? And how do you, balance, wanting to have your veterans out there against, big games like Ohio State or even Minnesota, where it's an experienced team, but also getting in the younger guys, to get that experience?
Yeah, Lawrence, again, I've done this for a while now. I'm rolling with the guys that we're rolling with. I'm proud of them. They've fought through it. They haven't batted an eye. I think a lesser character group of guys with our record wouldn't show up every day with lunch pails and hard hats on to get better. And I appreciate that. And I respect the heck out of that. And so you sprinkle in guys where it seems right, where it fits, to get them, in the arena, get them some experience, but at the same time, we're going to do everything we can to win. We're going to do everything we can to play our players that have been out there doing things consistently to help us win. And if there's been inconsistency, we're going to try to influx some competition with some guys. And now that we have, full access to our roster, we'll be able to do that. But I believe in our guys. I believe they're going to do everything they can to win, win this game and prepare the right way. But it was good to get a couple of guys out there for their first experiences. Robert Fitzgerald got out there on a kickoff play. Some other guys have gotten some first experiences in games, and I'm sure they're excited about it. Help them practice a little bit better, but hard to put a ton of guys out there maybe on first and second down or third down offensively and defensively when they're still taking scout reps. You still got to be able to practice. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but with a lot of our injuries, that we have and some guys out, we're getting a ton of valuable experience. Who would have thought that Duke Ogles would have played as many plays as he did, and played at a high level on Saturday. So we're seeing a lot of that already. And those guys are getting better and better because they're working real hard. So appreciate everybody's time today. Thanks for covering the squad. And if you're traveling with us, travel safe. All right. Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
Ahead and go right into questions for Andrew Clare. If you have a question, you can message Athletic Communications in the chat. First question for Louis.
Hey, Andrew. Louis Vicaire with Wildcat Report. Tell me a little bit about Brendan Sullivan. What has he brought over these last 3 starts? What does he bring to the team, both on the field and off the field?
Sully's he's a special quarterback. He brings knowledge. He kind of lacks an experience aspect, but he expands the games with his feet. And he's able to throw the ball really well. So you combine those two things, you open the playbook a lot more. And people have to respect him. Defenses have to respect him. And that's a hat that people usually don't account for. So making him a force to the game, and actually making people account for him, whether it's his legs or his throwing ability, really expands the games, expands the playbook, and opens up new doors, opens up different opportunities for the offense to be efficient.
Thank you.
Next question for John Vogt.
Yeah, hi Andrew. Wanted to ask about you're a captain on this team and you came in as a transfer. It's a hard thing to do to come into a new environment like that and immediately and to step into that leadership role. Can you talk about how you've grown into that and how you found your home here in Evanston?
I really say it came down to just wanting to help everyone around, just wanting to be help lead, help in the ways that I can. And it just grown into me taking over one of those leadership roles, just being vocal, just helping people in different areas that they needed help in. Like I said, it's just really grown to me becoming really being placed into that role. I'm grateful for it that my teammates respect me to even give me that title. And the respect goes both ways. Being able to pass knowledge down throughout my career has been helpful. And it's just something that I'm grateful for, that people even look at me as one of the leaders, as a captain, and just as a person that they can come to in a time of need. Just being a light in other people's lives, I feel like has really helped me step into that role as a captain.
Thank you so much.
Next question for Lawrence Price.
Hey, Andrew. I kind of just wanted to follow up on John's question about, being a leader for not only the team, but also, in the running back room. How important do you feel it is, or, the impact that you try to make on the younger running backs that, have less experience on the college field, but, you want to give that back to them?
It's real important to as morally and physically. Just being there as a moral support when things don't go right on the field, where they mess up or anything. Just having someone on the side of you, just saying you're all right. Next play the next play. Just tell them what you saw, tell them what they could have did, and just giving them help each and every play, goes a long way. And then physically, just being there for them, just helping them throughout all kinds of things. Like I said, just telling them what I see, telling them like different tricks that I've learned, different things that help me, and just being able to try and help them expand their individual game, their individual package. Is like it's real important. Just being that person, being able to be that person for other good players. It's a real nice thing to see.
John Riker.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for chatting with us today. From your perspective as a team captain and a player with a pretty significant social media presence, how do you navigate social media, both like the positives like NIL and fan engagement, and then also like the obvious negatives?
Because I pay attention to none of it. If I'm telling the truth. Every game I read a passage, the man in the arena, if you guys are familiar with it. And the first line is it's basically not about the people around you. It's all about who's in the arena. So everyone has a right to voice their opinion. And obviously we're a team for everyone's enjoyment, for entertainment. If your favorite Netflix show wasn't showing, you'll be mad too. So for us not performing to our capabilities, fans have a right, media has a right, everyone has a right to voice their opinion, but how you let that affect you will like take a toll on you. So usually I try not to pay attention to it. Sometimes, well, really a lot of times they never know what's really going on behind doors, behind the scenes. And just people are less speaking from surface things that they see. So just not paying attention to it is probably my answer.
Yeah, and then just being a player in today's college football, do you still feel like social media is an essential part of your lives? I mean, you're also students as well, and just a huge part of the generation as a whole. What are some of the positives that you see?
Social media is a driver for marketing your personal brand, and is actually something that you should really get into, but doing it the right way. If you want to become like not even a social media sensation, if you want to just be able to market yourself, you want to be able to develop a brand, if you want to be able to grow individually, I do feel like social media can have positives, but depending on how you act on social media, depending on how you carry yourself, it can also come with negatives at the same time. So using social media as a positive, the way you use it can be very beneficial for yourself, for your personal brand, for your team, for everyone around you. And it does take a lot of responsibility, especially as a college player. And depending on where you are, the market around you, it can be a lot. It can take a toll on you, depending on how many people you're dealing with. So just knowing the ins and outs of who you are, what your brand is, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, social media can really be beneficial.
Thank you.
Next question for Adam Rittenberg.
Hey, Andrew, you mentioned how, those of us on the outside might not understand what's happening inside. It sort of led to where you guys are at. Being on the inside, what do you think? How would you sort of pinpoint what has gone wrong, or what sort of led you guys to this place? And is it something that's kind of more theme based, or is it individual based?
Well, I wouldn't say it's individual based because we're a team, one sound, one heartbeat kind of thing. It really comes down to execution and making plays at the end of the day. Winning your one-on-ones, and just doing what you're supposed to do, doing your 111 every play. And that has not been the case each and every opportunity we had out there. Every game, let's see, I'll say probably like we've lost by a touchdown in most of our games, and 5 or 6 plays go differently. We win all those games. The record looks completely different. So just knowing that Just having that in the back of your head, approaching that with that mindset each and every day, just knowing how can you be better on when it comes down to them 5 to 6 plays. Really will help turn the corner. And just like losing snowball, winning snowballs as well. So once we get past that, get to that column, then it starts a carryover effect.
John Vogt.
Yeah, hi again, Andrew. I wanted to ask about Malik Washington. He's got 500 receiving yards back-to-back years. What has he meant for your offense, and especially what does having a guy like that on the outside do for you in the run game?
Malik's very special. He's a playmaker. He's a person that has for sure hands. If it's in his vicinity, 7 out of 10 times, really 9 out of 10 times, I'm saying he's coming down with the ball. So just knowing that and having that person on your team provides a lot of confidence and a lot of trust for the person who's throwing him the ball. So I know we got Sully out there now. And just knowing who Sully is, knowing he's going to take some risk, and knowing that he has Malik, he can take that chance, and he can take that opportunity. And it's just good to have somebody on your team like Malik, because he can turn a 5-yard gain into a 20-yard gain at any moment. And he's a very special player. He's a real good playmaker. And we're lucky to have him.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
No doubt. Thank you.
All right. We'll go right into questions for Rod Hurd. If you have a question, please message Athletic Communications in the chat, and we'll get you added to the queue. First question for Ryan Che.
Hey, Rod, thanks for joining us this afternoon. The defense, really stepped up to the plate this last Saturday. Ohio State with an amazing, high volume passing offense, and got, as Coach Fitz was just telling us, a lot of pass deflections there. Was there anything different in your preparation going into that game? And then how has that shifted as you look at Minnesota, who brings in a really dominating run game this week?
No, there wasn't really a big difference on how we prepared. Our preparation is pretty consistent through and through throughout the weeks. Definitely Coach O'Neill had a different plan, of course, like every single week, that was specified for O State. And we just went out there and executed. It was really anything special about it. And we're going to do the exact same thing this week, the same preparation plan, and listen to our coaches and what they have seen out there studying Minnesota. And of course, as players, we have our individual jobs, and to watch our film and prepare as well. But the big thing is just going out there on Saturday and executing it.
John Vogt.
Yeah, hey, Rod, just following up on that a little bit. Coach was talking about the pass deflections as well, just how well that defensive back group did in that category. What does that do for you guys as a unit when you put together a game like that? What does that do for your confidence, especially against such a talented opponent like Ohio State?
It's a good thing for the group of guys that we have. We have a lot of great players in our secondary, and that can make plays. And just to have a game where multiple guys at different points in time during the game are able to make those big plays is a good thing for us. It's a special thing.
Lawrence Price.
Hey, Rod, you being one of the experienced guys in the secondary, how do you and, guys like Cam, AJ, J. Lou get younger guys, like Devin, like Theron, the experience or reps to get them prepared for the big stage? We're getting, playing time.
We just be a supporting hand. We watching film, talking to them, giving them guidance on, our past experiences and the things that, hurt us in the past, and giving them little tips and things like that. That's what we pretty much do. We just make sure that, when they're out there, that they, feel comfortable, that they're, confident. And I mean, to be honest, I think they've done a great job at stepping up to the plate, Devin being a true freshman, Theron being in the second year. Like they've made a lot of plays, and they've actually grown a lot, during the season.
John Vogt.
Yeah, you're right. Cam Mitchell's missed some time this year, but really big plays against Ohio State, 3 pass defenses. What does it mean to have a guy like him in the secondary?
It's just a guy you can rely on. Having him play in the boundary, he can, lock down any number 1 receiver you got. It's just, something that every secondary, wish they can have. So it's a great thing to have C. Mitch out there making plays and doing his thing.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Rod.
No problem.
Appreciate it, everyone. A reminder that